All right, what's going on, everybody? So this week, well, really last week, because you were the one who told me about this. My Hero One's Justice 2 that got announced last week. Then we got a little bit of gameplay. We got about what was it, like 15 minutes or whatever of gameplay. Then we had a trailer that
hmm
dropped, and with the initial announcement, I was seeing already, people. I was seeing some of the bigger YouTubers, the bigger anime YouTubers. Some of them were freaking out over it. But as soon as we saw this new gameplay, yeah, like this game has been getting a lot of hate, and we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about this. I know you got a lot to say. I know you got a lot to say. We both do about this game. And matter of fact, what's so crazy about this being about this coming out? Because a lot of people, and I'm pretty sure you've seen the comments. A lot of people are like, "Oh my god, why is this game coming out right now? Like, why are we getting a sequel so soon?" And it's crazy because the game is coming out in 2020. It's coming out next year. But I think the reason why it feels like this is like too soon for a lot of people is like we just got the game last year and then they're announcing it now, so maybe they should have announced this later on, like maybe not even January of next year, because we don't know exactly when it's coming out. Did they give us a solid release date, or is it just 2020?
It's just 2020.
Okay, so maybe like if it's not coming out early on in the year, then perhaps they should have just waited and then gave us the announcement in like January, February. But I think they announced it way too early. That's one reason why I think people. That's one reason why I think people feel as though this came out a little too soon. And then there's also the fact that like from what we see, it's like not a lot has really changed. And I'm gonna just let you go ahead and kind of talk about it first, because I got a lot that I gotta say, but I'm gonna let you kind of start it off.
Too kind, man. You're too kind. But this was Justice 2. It isn't. It's nothing. It is not kind at all. Why is that, you may ask? It is the fact that this is too soon. And it's not only just too soon, it's the fact that once Justice even got a sequel to begin with, you would have thought, given how the first one pretty much panned, it pretty much got slammed in the reviews. It played pretty much bad
It's
from what
so it's
I
so
remember.
like crap, didn't it?
Yes, it did,
Like
and
that's what I heard. Like
and
didn't they
believe
drop
me,
this? Didn't they drop it right by Red Dead Redemption, which I did not realize. If that's what they did, then yeah, the game deserved to die. I'm sorry.
yeah. That, I made a video on that too. Like they did not give a shit about that game, about this game at all.
I mean, that's
They
like the
pretty much
equivalent.
set it up.
Oh no, go ahead. I didn't want to speak over you. My bad.
It's fine. It's fine. But they basically set this up to die. Basically, you pretty much put up a Chihuahua next to a Rottweiler, pretty much a Rottweiler who can tear into your shit. Bad analogy, but my point stands. They didn't care about this one bit, and I even made a video saying like, "Hey, could you move the date? I don't know, ahead, like
Oh
before
yeah, I
this comes
remember
out."
you made that video. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that would have made more sense if people actually would actually bother to give a shit about Once Justice at all, because most of their time would be dedicated to Red Dead 2. So you're basically saying we don't give a shit about this. So go on and die next to the big dog known as Red Dead Redemption 2.
I mean, they basically
Basically,
pulled a Tomb Raider. Remember when Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics they put out Tomb Raider right next to Fallout? They just sent that out
oh
to
my,
die. It's basically
I
the same
remember
thing
that.
with the first My Hero game.
Remember that now. You're right. Uh further emphasizing my point, and it's so terribly. The first game sold terribly, and then out of nowhere, we get the announcement of One's Justice 2. And then this week is a trailer and 15 minutes of gameplay. I'm just like, I'm at work and I'm just like looking at something on my phone. I'm just like, excuse me? This looks exactly the fucking same. I sent it over to you and I'm just like, dude, this is no joke. Exactly the fucking same game. And I've spent way too many hours on One's Justice 1 to know how this looks and plays and feels. Okay? What I've seen out of this game, at this 15-minute gameplay, is no different. It looks exactly the same, number one. The health bars look updated. That's about it. Okay, new characters. Okay, that's pretty much expected. And the only change I really see out of the characters, because Deku now has shoot style, that's the default Deku now. He's not DLC like he was in the first game, but he's the default Deku. And Shigaraki has a costume change. That's all I've seen. Everybody else, it's exactly the same shit. Still floaty fighting. Still, you do enough damage, you crash to the floor.
Yeah, they got stage.
That's it.
They got stage transitions, basically.
That's it, and a weak one at that. It's like, really, out of everything you could have thought of, this is what you go with. You know what? I actually expected them to pull a Xenoverse out of their ass and just say, okay, screw it, make your own hero. And
oh God, don't give them ideas. Don't give them ideas.
I already am. Who knows who isn't to say this is already in development? Because honestly, if the best My Hero game we can't even play, it's a phone game. Okay, it's a phone game, for Christ's sake. It's like that phone game looks a lot more developed than this, and that is saying a lot. But God, whatever. I was pretty surprised if this even comes close to the first game sales, because people are just like, oh, I'm glad I didn't bother with the first one. Oh, I'm not between that and, oh, I'm not wasting my money on this again. And me, on the other hand, I'm just like, this could have just been a $30 expansion if you really wanted that.
Yeah.
You could have just.
Yeah.
This could have been.
I'll let you finish. I'll let you finish, man. I'll let you finish.
Okay. I'm about to finish up. This could have been a straight up $30 expansion pack, just with all the characters that are going to be in season 4 in that pack, because season 4 is on the horizon anyway. So it's like, week. Okay, yeah, exactly. So just say fuck it, throw that in there, come out with the expansion. I don't know, say December. Touch it up just a bit. Have your improved health bars, have your stage transitions, and even like further the story to where we are with it right now. And there you go. $30 expansion. There you go. No harm, no foul. $30 tops, because that's exactly what this looks like. Okay? Even the other characters who didn't even make it into the first game are in there too. Because Mineta and
Ashido.
Amina is in there too. And Amina is in there too. So it's like, okay, the characters that people wanted in here are actually in here. Okay? It's just like, all right. No harm, no foul. But to market this shit as another $60 purchase, are you kidding me? When it's just the same thing. And I thought 2K was bad. Yes, I'll get that dig. I'll keep digging. I will keep digging that grave as much as I possibly can. Because this is the definition of we don't give a fuck. We don't care. We just want your money. This is the same game. Why this isn't a $30 DLC, I don't know. But go ahead, man. I've ranted my head off about this enough. You proceed.
Okay, I got a lot to say, and I'm gonna try to be as objective. I'm gonna try to, play it from both sides here. So, one of the points that you brought up, you talked about the fact that this could have been an expansion, this could have been DLC, and that was one point that I saw a lot of people bring up, was like, oh my God, this should have just been DLC for the first game, And then I saw some people saying, well, why would they support a dead game? You know, why would they support that old game? And then with a lot of people like us sitting there saying, okay, this isn't really anything new from what we have seen so far. We haven't seen that much new in it. And the people that are all for this game or that were defending this game, I guess you can say defending the game. Those people that were in defense of the game, they was like, okay, well, why does there have to be a bunch of changes? I mean, of course, yeah, this game is gonna look like the first one because, well, yeah, it's My Hero One's Justice. But here's the thing: those are all weak arguments. There's a bunch of weak arguments because here's the thing: when you look at other games, I kept telling people this. I kept having to respond to people and tell them that, hey, look at the games that we've had in the past. Look at the anime games that we had in the past, like even the Storm series. And I'm gonna mention Storm a few other times because people kept bringing that up. And there was this one guy that said, "Oh, well, why does everybody keep talking about, oh, this game is the same game that we got last year when Storm was like that?" And I was like, that's not really, not really. Hold your horses there. Hold your horses there, because even like I have my issues with CyberConnect 2 and the Storm series. I had my issues with it. But one thing you can say about Storm 2, when you look at Storm 1, Naruto Storm 1, the Storm 2, or Clash of Ninja 1, the Clash of Ninja 2, or Budokai 1, the Budokai 2, there is progression. There is changes in mechanics. It's not just a roster update. And it's cool. It's cool that we're getting these new characters. Ashido, we're getting the big three that you didn't mention, but we're getting the big three. We're getting Overhaul. We're getting these season 4 characters and these characters that were long requested fan characters, and that's cool. But it has to be more than a roster update. I don't want to hear this excuse of, oh, it's just a casual game. It's because there are some people that are gonna be okay with this. Just because, it's fan service. They want that fan service. And that's cool, but you should also want more. You shouldn't just accept just anything just because it has My Hero on the title. Just because it's a My Hero game. Just because it's one of those anime games that you love. And we're all we are all big fans of My Hero Academia. Otherwise, why would we be talking about this? And I feel like this franchise deserves better because here's the thing. When you look at the other anime games that came out in the past, like, for example, I mentioned before, Storm 1, Storm 2. Storm 2, the second Storm game, it completely changed everything. It changed everything. I'm gonna read just a tiny bit from the Naruto fandom about some of the features that was basically changed in Storm 2. They changed the support system. This time around, there are 3 types of support characters: attack type, defense type, balance type. There's a drive gauge. They changed so much back then. When you go from Storm 1 to Storm 2. And then even Storm Revolution, we were talking about this the other day. Even with that game, like with every new iteration of the Storm series that came out, regardless of whether you liked them or not, and there were some that even we hated, but there were still changes. CC2, they made improvements, they added new mechanics, and I'm trying to figure out. And I kept looking at the gameplay. I kept looking at the trailer. I'm like, okay, where are the new mechanics? Yeah, they got the stage transitions. Okay, that's cool. Maybe, and we don't even know if that's just for one stage or not. But okay, cool. Stage transitions. We got a updated UI. The UI is updated. It now says Plus Ultra up there. Okay, cool. That looks cool. That was something I liked about the first game, was the presentation. So that's cool. Someone also mentioned sidestepping. Someone was like, there are new features. They added sidestepping. I'm like, oh my god, Sidestep it! Oh my God! This is so revolutionary. That is literally not common. You can find it. I forgot what video. I forgot which video I left it on. But I was like, oh my God, that's so revolutionary. It's like sidestepping. We happy because they're sidestepping. They're sidestepping. They're sidestepping in a lot of these arena brawler games. Just because it's an arena brawler doesn't mean that there can't be complex mechanics to it. Like, it doesn't mean that it can't be, a bit more complex, and they can't add more features to it. Like, I don't like this idea of we should just support it because there was other people saying that, if you don't support the game, then we might not get any more, because that excuse is always going to be out there. Like,
That's bullshit.
If we don't support this, there's not going to be any more My Hero games. My Hero is a big property. They are not going to leave money on the table. They're not going to leave money on the table. And this is just and one thing that I didn't really want to do going into this, watching the first 15 minutes of gameplay and then the trailer. I didn't even know the trailer was even out. Like, I watched the gameplay before I saw the trailer because I didn't even know there was a trailer. And I'm just like, yo, okay, so they didn't, like, I was looking for what they added. And all I saw was a roster update. I'm like, okay, this could have been an expansion, though. And that's one of the main, I feel like that is one of the main complaints with this. But, man, they like, because I was hoping they would do something more. And I wanted to be fair. I wanted to just be like, okay, listen, I'm going to wait until, because when you told me that this was a thing, and they just had, I think it was a scan or something that you showed me, and when I saw that, okay, this is going to be a thing, I'm going to reserve judgment, because there could be some new gameplay features. I was hoping there was going to be like some new gameplay features, but all I saw there was the same gameplay. They still got the moon physics. Why are these characters? Yo, why are these characters staying in the air for days? Like, it's like everybody got hit with Uraraka's quirk. They got hit with the Ochako's quirk, and like everybody just falls to the ground all slow and in the air for like 30,000 minutes. Like, why is everyone like this? And then when I mentioned it in the comment section, somebody was like, oh, well, they jump like that in the anime and the manga. I was like, no, they don't. Not everybody falls to, like My Hero Academia's world doesn't have moon physics. Like, not everybody has a flying quirk or a gravity quirk. Like, stop making excuses. Like, this crap is ridiculous.
Why you hating on My Hero Academia, man? Why you hating on my boy's Justice, man?
Fuck you, okay? Man, fuck you. Give like legitimate like a legit claim, and he just like tries to shut you down, like say, it's just like that in the anime, man. It's like that in the anime and manga, man. No, it ain't.
Yeah, they listen. They listen, like they can jump high, but eventually they gotta come down, and it shouldn't take them 2 years to come down. Like, they gotta fix that floaty. I was hoping that they were gonna fix. That was one of the things I was hoping that they were gonna fix was the floaty, the gravity, the physics. Cause there's parts of, like I said, there are parts of the game that I liked. I liked the presentation of the game. I like the art style of the game. It looks really cool. It's not the greatest graphics in the world, but the whole thing, like, I believe I told you this before, and I think I've said this also on the channel. The game reminded me of Clash of Ninja in a way. Maybe it was its presentation and everything. So I was hoping that this game was gonna be Clash of Ninja 2 for My Hero Academia, and it wasn't, and that's why me personally, like, I'm so hard on this game, because the first one, some people said it was like really, really terrible. Like, even to this day, like, I'm just like middle of the road. Like, I don't want to say it was completely bad, because it was actually better than, because Cause you remember how I was when we saw like the gameplay and stuff and that stuff. When that came out, and then the Black Clover game came out around the same time. And I was like, okay, like when we finally saw gameplay of this, I'm like, okay, this it's not that bad. And then I got my hands on it. Like it had its issues, but it was fun to play. But honestly, I didn't play. I don't even think I played that game more than like maybe 2 weeks, and then I was done. I didn't even buy the American version of the game. Because I've said this on my channel before. Like my brother bought the Japanese version, so I just played that.
On the other hand, I played this more than enough for a lifetime. Okay, I spent way more time on this. That's why I'm so like critical on it. And about the stage transactions, I just realized this. Some arenas actually,
I think transactions.
About that.
Like we're so used to saying microtransactions.
Shit, you're right. Okay, the botch on my part.
They
stage transitions. About that, I remember some of the arenas actually have ring outs. So that being said,
that was strange to me. I don't know if I was the only one. I thought that was strange.
That being said, who's to say that every single area or arena is going to have stage transitions?
That was something else I wanted to bring
transitions.
Up.
It's like, oh God! It's like when you would talk about that, I'm like, oh no! I remember the ring outs, and it's only certain few that actually had that. Who's to say all of them going to have like this transitions now? It's like, oh, we're running a gamble with that too. They could just say like, oh, this one has it, this one has it, this one doesn't, this one doesn't, this one does, this one doesn't. So it could be a fucking Russian roulette for all we know, which sucks.
Well, at least we got a roster update. That's what matters. Is characters.
Oh my God.
And like some people are very content with that. They're just like, okay, we got all these characters. Yay.
Yeah, dude, after seeing what Kakarot is right now, it's like, I kind of want that for my hero now. Just an entire go through of the series to where it is currently with season 4. And make that an entire game in itself. Then when we get further in, you make 2 and then you build up off of that. You have the Storm 2 formula from the first game, basically. Because I remember, as you were talking about that, I remember just how better-ish and just how much of a change Storm 2 was from 1. It's like, and that became the standard bearer for where we were going to go later on in the future.
Right.
Especially till all the way to 4. But I, for one, you and I both know we didn't like Generations or Revolution, but at least we can say this. They were something different to the game.
Yep, every single one had a new feature. Every single one. Regardless of whether you hate it or not.
Tournament.
I hated that the what do you call it? The substitution bar when they added that. I didn't think that was a good route. And then in like the last game, I believe it was the last game where like they allowed you to finally switch out between your supports and stuff. I think they called it the leader. What is it? Leader switch or something like that. Like each game had new mechanics, and I'm trying to figure out. And maybe okay. To be fair, maybe we're all jumping the gun. Maybe we will all hold an L later on when they show us more of the game, and then there's new mechanics that we haven't heard of. But if there were new mechanics, shouldn't we have seen some by now? Because we got that 15 minutes of gameplay, and I didn't even watch all of it. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even watch all of it because once I got through like the first few matches, I'm just like, okay, I've seen enough. This is the same game.
This is the same game.
It's literally the same game.
It is the same damn game.
Like even
It's
like
like
I
if
showed
you're
it to my brother.
trying to
Even he
entice
was like,
people.
even he was like, oh, they think they slick. It's the same game. It's the same
Oh my god.
game.
If you're trying to market a sequel, shouldn't you, I don't know, do everything you can to like entice people into buying it and bring something different to the table? That's what sequels are supposed to do. I saw nothing for the 5 minutes I actually watched that 15-minute gameplay. I saw the exact same shit, just with different characters. I'm like, this is the same thing I played months ago. I played over a year ago. This is the same game. And I texted you about it. I'm like, this is the same garbage, dude. I don't even give a shit if this is on Game Pass. This is the same thing. This is the same thing. But no.
Hey, it might be a Game Pass fodder game. It might be. I mean, Jump Force was up there, but I definitely think My Hero. I think One's Justice, the first one, was definitely better than Jump Force. But with the
That's
people
no
just
question.
making the go ahead.
That's no question. I think, hell, I'll take Storm Revolution and Storm Generations over Jump Force. I mean, Jesus, man. Jump Force is fucking terrible. Oh my god, I'll take that shitty tournament formula that they did with Revolution over everything Jump Force was. Oh my god, just no, we're not doing this here. Can continue. No.
So like with the people kind of going back to the people making the Storm comparisons, right? What's crazy about that? Like they say that okay, the Storm games, you know, those were the same like year in and year out, and there's some people out there that just claim like, okay, well y'all weren't complaining about that, but like we mentioned, they added new features each time because if they did what Young Justice, I was about to say Young Justice, when if they were to do what One's Justice did, and matter of fact, now that I screwed up the title of this, I just gotta mention this because I also wanted to mention this. That title was stupid. This title was stupid. Now I understand with the first game, you know, I understand what they had to do because of some stupid licensing. Something to do with like licensing or copyright or something. So they couldn't call it My Hero Academia One's Justice. They had to call it My Hero One's Justice. But then you call it My Hero One's Justice 2. One is already in the title. So that kind of throws the thing off.
Oh, I see what you're saying here.
It throws it off. And like the whole time I'm like, why didn't y'all just call this? And I believe if they would have done this, it actually would have curbed some of the backlash. If they would have called it My Hero One's Justice plus Ultra or something. Just call it something. Something else with a subtitle. It needed a subtitle.
Or
not another number. My Hero One's Justice plus Ultra. If they would have called it plus Ultra Edition, then guess what? I think a lot of people would have came into this and be like, hold on, is this just an expansion to the first game? But it's not a sequel. It's an expansion to the first game. Okay, I'ma buy it. Like I believe they probably would have fooled somebody if they would have done.
oh my god, you're absolutely right.
It probably would have been the first. It probably would have been the smartest thing that they have done. But you called it My Hero One's Justice 2, and I'm just like, that title is just kind of stupid. I mean, the title is just dumb, man.
I didn't even realize that, but you're right. I hate this even more now.
But yeah, like,
gross. Okay.
to not be completely negative, right? To not be completely negative. When I saw Ashido, and I saw Mineta, because I didn't think, because I was thinking about the other day, I'm like, okay, so what can they add to this game to make it, you know, enticing for people who, okay, I don't care about being competitive, I don't care about new mechanics, just give me characters. Like what are they gonna add? Who could they add to kind of entice those people to buy the game, right? And I'm thinking, okay, a lot of people want Mineta, and even like when the first game came out, like I had only seen like 4 episodes of My Hero, I think at that point when the first game came out. So I saw Mineta and I'm like, just judging off of his character design and like the little that I saw of him, I was like, okay, I hope they don't waste a slot on this dude. But now that I've seen, the whole whole 3 seasons, I'm like, I kind of wanted to see how Mineta was gonna fight because I was just thinking the whole time, it's like all he does is throw balls. It's like he'd be a cool support character. And I'm like, maybe that could be a way for them to put the other characters in there without having to do a whole move set just to have support only characters. And I thought that he could have been one, but now that he's a full character, I mean, I know a lot of people are happy with that. Same thing with Ashi though. Her character model, and we got the big three in there, and of course Overhaul, and I'm pretty sure other characters that are gonna show up in season 4, those are gonna be in there. So, I mean, that's basically the most positive, the most positive thing I can really say about this is that okay, we got some more characters.
That's basically what this really draws down to. Like, it's basically where this really boils down to. It's just like, just give people the characters that they wanted.
And I know another thing, not to cut you off, but I know another thing that that a lot of people that I saw, play the first game, and talk about the first game. A lot of people hated that story mode. They was like, yo, what is this? What is this story mode? Like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I like this. I like the first game story mode. Even though, to be fair, I played it in Japanese and like I said, I did not watch all of the episodes at that point in time. I didn't know everything that was going on in My Hero because, like I said, I was new to the series. So I just played the game in Japanese, but it reminded me, the first game story mode reminded me of the first Ultimate Ninja story mode. So that's probably why I liked it so much, because I liked that one. But with this, they have a chance to go all in on the cutscenes and really go all out on the story mode. So maybe they could do a little bit of what you mentioned earlier, where like it could be like how Naruto Storm 1, you remember how like the hub world was, where you can like run around and stuff like that. Maybe they could expand more. Now, maybe okay, pie in the sky. Being a optimist for once. Let's just hope maybe that's what they're hiding. Maybe the big draw here is the story mode.
I mean, if they do it right this time, because like I get what you're saying, why it reminded of Ultimate Ninja, it reminded me of Ultimate Ninja 2. I mean, as well, not to shut up, but I hope it's not all still shots, and then just like sprinkle in actual because
I think people wanted the actual
like cutscenes from the game.
Yeah, like I think people actually wanted like the cutscenes with like the 3D models. Like they didn't want any of that, like the stills and the static shots and everything like that. They didn't want it in that type of format, because a lot of people see that format as lazy and as for lack of a better word, cheap. But I like it. It kind of it fits the style. Like it fits the presentation of the game, and it fits the fact that this is coming from a manga to an anime to a video game. So it fits that style. Just like how the original Ultimate Ninja was on PS2. So that's kind of what I liked about that story mode. So that's pretty much all I can really think of when it comes to the positive and what they could possibly do to kind of bring people in, or even get my attention. Like I think the like if they're not gonna add any new gameplay mechanics, simply come with a really 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 great story mode. Because if they come with a really great story mode, then maybe that can convince me and convince other people that were naysayers. Maybe that will shut us up. Maybe that will shut some people up.
Um. Uh.
No,
Yeah, it kind of
no,
sucks being
yes.
it kind of sucks being the negative one here, but yeah, keep trying to keep that hope alive when we get closer to the release date. I'm still in the yeah, okay, let's see, but I don't really have too much hope for that after really wasting enough time on the first game and then seeing this just like you bitches should have just come up with a fucking massive ass DLC pack. I'm sorry, dude. I can't. Just seeing this, seeing what we have now. Okay, yeah, but if this is a very big if they improve months down the line, closer to the release date, if we see something different, then fine. There's your difference. But right now, I don't have too much hope for this because it just looks like yeah, we still don't give a shit. You guys wanted characters. Here you go. Here's more characters, but it's $60. Give us your fucking money. So basically, that's where I still am right now. I don't trust him that much after the first game. This just comes out of virtually nowhere. It's just like, who the fuck was asking for this? I'm just standing here like, who the fuck
Like
was asking for
I'm
this?
one of those people that just like I never expected to see. I don't think anyone really, outside of the people that was like really like hardcore into that game, because like we can talk junk about it, but like people are still playing the game. I mean, I refer to it as a dead game, and it's definitely probably less lively. Like there's probably less people on. Most likely it's probably less people on, but I really believe there's a dedicated community because it seems like these games that people kind of was hating on last year, like Shinobi Striker and Once Justice, like those were the games that those still have communities, those still have dedicated communities. Whereas something like Black Clover, that just died out. So, like, that died at launch. Like, there were people that didn't even know that game even existed. Like, that died at launch. So, we have to give the first game, at least some credit. And I guess you can say the series as a whole for just being a fun game for people to, I don't know, just try to play competitively. But, I'm looking up something right now with the developer. So the developer is Viking, and I wanted to clarify this because there were some people that was saying, I was seeing some comments of people saying, "Oh my God, it's Spike Chunsoft again! Oh my God, it's the Jump Force guys."
It's ridiculous how we're so accustomed to Chunsoft fucking up so bad that we automatically assume like every shitty anime game that comes out now, it's automatically gonna be them. And Jump Force was so fucking bad that it's now to the point where it's like, oh, is this another shitty anime game? It's gotta be Spike Chunsoft.
See, and there are people that are gonna really take what you're saying, and they're gonna be, for lack of a better word, offended by it. But here's the truth. I mean, if you're not a fan of anime, I mean, we're all fans of anime, period. Otherwise, we wouldn't be freaking making this video. But it's like, if you're not in the know, if you're not, in that fandom, it's like, if you're outside looking in, you're looking at this, you're like, oh my God, it's another freaking anime arena brawler. And that's the thing that kills me. I mean, I've done videos on this before where I said, I think the last video I was like, there's a stigma when it comes to these anime games, and it comes from just not having quality in these games. There's no quality control. It's just like, oh my God, they turned something out with the My Hero Academia name on it, and people will buy it. And I feel like that's what a lot of these companies like there's no passion in this. I really don't see the passion in a lot of these anime games in general. I mean, yeah, I like like I said, I mentioned the presentation. I keep saying that over and over because I dig the presentation of One's Justice. I like it. It definitely fits the anime. But there needs to be a lot more than just, flashiness and fan service. in order for this game. Because keep in mind, people, that Clash of Ninja, even though there weren't a lot of games on the Wii, that game got recognized. That series got recognized. I mean, I don't think it's ever been played at like Evo or anything like that, but it's definitely recognized as a pretty good anime fighting game. Along the lines of even like Budokai was like a really good fighting game. Like, why can't these games like One's Justice and Jump Force be on that same level? And the reason why they're not getting that was it? I was about to say recommendation. The reason why they're not getting, that sort of praise is because, I mean, it's just not
recognition. Recognition.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say, recognition. But the reason why they're not getting that praise and recognition is because, hey, man, there's not that much effort being put into it. And, I could be wrong about this, and maybe there's like time constraints and other factors that we don't even know about. But it's like, from the outside looking in, it's like y'all not really putting too much effort into this. So, I mean, that's all I really have to say about it. I think I've spoken enough on it. I know.
Honestly, you know how I feel on this. It is what it is. If this suddenly does come out with new aesthetics and new concepts to it, then I'll give it a second glance. I'll give it a chance. I'll give it an actual chance because I did like the aesthetics that the first one brought, and it did like remind me of Ultimate Ninja 1 from back in the day. And it's and by the way, you said Wii when you said we're talking about Clash of Ninja. It was on the GameCube, and then the Wii got it with Clash of Ninja Revolution and Revolution 2.
Yeah, so, that's what I meant. Well, Revolution, those games actually got recognized as great Wii, Wii exclusive, fighters.
GameCube didn't Wii, but still, point being,
y'all knew what I meant.
It did get recognized. And then people come out and say, it's better than fucking Storm. Why don't we have more of this shit? Which, as a matter of fact, I would love to see come back one day. Like, just have a Naruto, the Boruto Clash of Ninja game. Just
never
say,
gonna
fuck
happen.
it.
That company, I think the company.
I know
is,
it's.
yeah. That company
under or something like that. I get it, but still.
Yeah.
It'd be nice. It'd be nice, but if this does come up with something new, then I'll be like, okay, I'll change my tune because it's like, okay, they're doing the Storm 2 effect for it, and that will be a good thing. It's not like putting out the same shit again at a $60 price tag when you guys didn't give a shit about the first one to begin with. Need I remind you, it came out at the same time Red Dead Redemption 2 did. You didn't care.
I believe it actually just came out like 10 months ago, if my math is correct.
It's not that long ago. It really hasn't been that long ago, actually. So
I mean, by the time it comes out, it will be 2 years. And that's kind of what I mentioned before. But like I said earlier, like, it's still stuck in people's minds. Like, it hasn't left people's minds long enough for people to like really be like, okay, we need a sequel for those people who wanted it. Like, most people that are probably still playing the game now, and I mentioned this. It was either, I'm trying to think, was I the one to mention this? But I saw a comment. Either I commented or somebody else. I don't know. I've been reading a lot of stuff, but here's the thing. We all hate season passes and DLC and stuff like this, but this would have been a perfect time to be like season 2 of One's Justice, and we're gonna add all this, and we got a story expansion and all this other crap.
Yep.
This would have been the perfect time to do it. This would have been the perfect time to do that.
Say the $30 expansion, man. So I said it. I said it. But no, they got to make their money. They got to make their $60 and shit. So it's whatever. But My Hero Academia is big enough to warrant something better than an arena brawler. Okay,
yeah,
and
like
I really
a fighting
do
game
believe
from
I
Arc
want.
System works.
He's God, yes. But something better than this where it is currently. And now the season 4 is about to release. It's like I'm kind of shocked that we haven't had anything other than One's Justice and the mobile game, and I think there's a 3DS game or something that released only in Japan, I believe. I could be wrong about that,
Yeah,
but
yeah. There was one. I don't know if it came out here though.
yeah, I don't think it did. But regardless, it's big enough to warrant something else than this. And I'm holding out hope that it will get that kind of treatment one day. That hell, it might get the Kakarot treatment one day and be like, okay, here's all this shit. Here's free roaming. Here's you can play as all these students. You can even play as All Might. Let's go. Hit them up with everything. Throw everything at the damn wall. Let's see what sticks. But it is what it is. If there's something else that comes out of this that actually looks new, then fine. I'll eat my words. I will gladly eat my words and Itachi's crow and say, fuck it. You guys did better than I expected you to. But as of right now, I ain't seeing shit different. The aesthetic's nice, but that's it. This is just a character. This is just a roster update.
Yeah.
And this is still lazy to me. But I'm repeating myself. I think we've said all that we're both going to say about that. So
yeah, that's pretty much all we got to say. I already know there's going to be a lot of dislikes on this video. Whatever. Like the video if you agree with us, I guess. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. We'll probably do more of this one day in the future. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. We out of here. Peace.